I mean, the things that he's doing is not trying to make America better. He's ruining our infrastructure, every department in our government. He's ruining, and he's right now destroying our economy. He's taken away all of our allies. We're a pariah in the world.
The Tesla Cybertruck wasn't just a new electric pickup truck. It was a revolution on wheels, a bold challenge to everything we knew about trucks. The promise of incredible durability, futuristic design, and unmatched power had the entire automotive world holding its breath. But what happened? Production is now on hold, quality is being questioned, and even the most loyal Tesla fans are starting to wonder whether they were sold a dream or a disaster. The stainless steel that was supposed to be indestructible requires constant maintenance. The huge windshield wiper, designed for all weather conditions, can't even handle normal rain. The minimalist interior looks more like a maze than a comfortable space for the driver.
Outperforming as well in some cases, doing better than Tesla. And you just have to think, how much more is this a sustained issue for Tesla going forward, given the fact that you have Elon Musk, who's been very forthright in his opinions, particularly weighing in on politics, particularly in Europe. We've just had the European elections, which Musk has been very focused on. But across the piece, when you look at the performance for Tesla in Europe, it's not just in small countries. There are a lot of countries where Tesla has been performing badly, including in Germany, in the UK, where it has been lagging, and Spain as well.
How did a project that promised to change the future turn into a real nightmare? What mistakes did the engineers and company executives make? And can Tesla still prove that the Cybertruck is not just empty words and hype? We'll talk about how the unique design became a challenge for production, why the factories weren't ready for the new materials, and how this affected the schedule and budget. You'll find out why the first owners were disappointed when they encountered problems that no one warned them about. We'll talk about how the explosion of negative reviews on social media turned into a wave of lawsuits and a drop in trust in the brand.
Well, this feels more like a Tesla-only story when you look at just this fall in EV sales for them, that they're suffering across Europe, down 45% in January. The wider EV market in Europe up 37%, so rivals are catching up and performing.
Meanwhile, competitors weren't sitting around. Ford, Rivian, Chevrolet, and other players in the market quickly took advantage of Tesla's weakened position by releasing their own electric pickup trucks, ones that were more reliable and practical. They didn't just attack Tesla in the market, they snatched away customers who had different expectations. But how did Tesla respond to this challenge? Will new improvements and redesigns restore its former glory? Or will the Cybertruck forever remain a project that promised more than it could deliver?
Running around on stage with the Tesla stock price, where the stock price had gone in half. And he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do. What a creep, what a jerk. Like who derives joy?
If you're interested in finding out the truth behind one of the most ambitious projects in the history of electric vehicles, stay with us. We'll tell you everything from technical problems and production to real owner reviews and the battle for the electric pickup truck market. Subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest news and in-depth analysis. This is not just a story about a car, but about how innovation can collide with harsh reality. Ready for the truth about the Tesla Cybertruck? Let's go.
Spray paint to vandalize and make a statement. People in Southern California are getting notes on their Teslas, calling them complicit Nazis for owning electric cars.
From the very beginning, the Tesla Cybertruck was positioned as more than just a new electric vehicle. It was a revolution in the automotive industry, a promise to change the way people think about pickup trucks and show the world that the future is already here. Its unique design, angular lines, and stainless steel body, which was supposed to be virtually indestructible, made the Cybertruck a symbol of innovation and bold engineering thinking by Elon Musk and his team. Tesla talked about a vehicle capable of withstanding hammer blows, carrying heavy loads, and featuring a futuristic, minimalist interior with a single huge touchscreen panel, replacing all buttons and levers. But behind this glossy image lay a complex technical challenge that soon became the company's biggest test.
After Trump imposed those sweeping 25% tariffs on aluminum and steel imports, the European Union retaliating with tariffs on up to $28 billion of U.S. goods. Trump making it clear this isn't over, vowing to respond in kind with sweeping retaliatory tariffs early next month.
They're doing what they should be doing, perhaps, for the European Union, but it does create ill will. And as you know, we're going to be doing reciprocal tariffs So whatever they charge us, we're charging them.
Canada also striking back with new tariffs on $20 billion worth of U.S. goods, mostly steel and aluminum, but also computers and sporting goods.
At the time of launch, the production of the Cybertruck hit Tesla with an avalanche of unforeseen difficulties. The main challenge was the production of the body from cold-rolled stainless steel, a material chosen not only for its strength, but also to emphasize the uniqueness and originality of this pickup truck. However, existing car factories were not ready to work with such a material. Stainless steel is extremely rigid and highly resistant to deformation, which on the one hand was a huge advantage in terms of durability, but on the other hand, made stamping and welding processes extremely difficult. Unlike traditional steel, which is easily handled by robotic welding lines and stamping presses, the Cybertruck required a major overhaul of factory processes. Many robots on the production lines were unable to process this material properly. They either broke down or produced a huge amount of scrap. Tesla had to practically redesign the equipment, purchase innovative laser cutting machines, and configure robots capable of working with the unusual geometric shapes of the body. This led to a sharp increase in production costs and a delay in the release date.
Does that help Tesla? I mean, you had Tim Waltz, who's a huge jerk. Right, you know.
The unique design was an additional problem. The angular shapes of the body, flat panels, and sharp edges were very different from the smooth contours of conventional cars. Traditional painting and finishing methods were not suitable for such parts. For example, the use of paint coatings caused streaks to appear, and some body parts were prone to chips and scratches even after minimal contact. There were cases where the first cars produced had noticeable visual defects, which caused dissatisfaction even among the most loyal Tesla fans.
Well, you will hear people over in Europe say the new Model Y, the Juniper, could be a difference maker, but that's been in that market now for more than a month. And you would think that you'd see a greater snapback if it's going to be a difference maker. Look, we could be wrong. It could be a difference maker once you get the sales for April, May, and June. But when you have a country like Norway, I think the sales were down something like 11% there. I mean, that's a very savvy EV consumer in Norway. And that's long been a strength for Tesla. Very small market, not huge volume, but I think almost all of the vehicles they sell there are electric. And they embraced Tesla long before others. And, you know, the reports there are not encouraging.
The design of the windshield and cleaning system deserves special mention. The huge flat windshield, designed to provide excellent visibility and fit in with the Cybertruck style, proved to be a serious problem for the engineering team. The original idea of a single giant windshield wiper that was supposed to cope flawlessly with any weather conditions quickly failed. Tests showed that it was unable to effectively clean the corners of the glass and let rain in during inclement weather, which directly affected driver safety and comfort.
We've accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
He praised all the domestic actions he has taken so far on immigration.
And I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country.
And spending cuts.
We are draining the swamp. It's very simple.
The transition to a more traditional windshield wiper system required additional time and money. Against this backdrop of growing technical difficulties, problems with build quality began to emerge. Production lines operating under conditions of constant change and refinement regularly produced cars with gaps between panels, doors that did not close properly, and other visible defects. Over time, the number of such cases only grew, causing dissatisfaction not only among future owners but also within Tesla itself. Engineers had to urgently develop fixes, which often created new problems, delaying production and worsening the overall situation.
Worse than expected, 336 and 68 vehicles, 336,068 vehicles delivered in the first quarter for Tesla. For a point of reference, the street was expecting, the street account was expecting, based on analyst expectations.
Serious glitches also arose in the software. The touchscreen interface, which was supposed to be the central control element, turned out to be less user-friendly than expected. The lack of familiar physical buttons made it difficult to access key functions while driving. Drivers complained about having to scroll through menus to adjust the temperature or mirrors, which distracted them and reduced comfort. Additional complications arose from malfunctions in the cameras and driver assistance systems, which sometimes gave false signals or simply did not respond properly.
A 371, most were saying 350 to 360. Now they're coming in at 336,068. Production of 362,615. So for some point of reference here, you're going back to Q2, maybe Q1 of 2022 in terms of the last time that they had production this or deliveries this low for one quarter. So again, Tesla deliveries worse than expected at just over 336,000 deliveries in the first quarter. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
That's horrible. Can I just ask Phil, how about the Cybertruck? How's that doing? You got a little inventory there in the Cybertruck?
All these technical problems caused serious costs and forced Tesla to suspend mass production. Elon Musk, realizing the scale of the crisis, was forced to admit that the implementation of the bold concept was much more difficult than expected. He personally took to social media, promising to fix the defects and present an improved version of the Cybertruck, but the pressure on the company was enormous. Competitors were already watching the situation and preparing to seize the moment.
That's from the European Automobile Manufacturers Association. People just choosing with their wallets to not buy Teslas because of that Musk-Trump association. And actually here in London, an activist group called Everyone Hates Elon actually have been hacking bus stop signs with posters. I actually passed one yesterday. First, I wasn't quite sure what was happening, but it said the words 0 to 1939 in 3 seconds. Illusion here, 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds or something. But this poster was alluding to the start of World War II, and the image was of Musk giving that hand salute that we saw at Trump's inauguration that many have attacked as a Nazi gesture. Musk, though, has neither admitted or denied what he was doing. But we're seeing the knock-on effect of that anti-Musk anger across Europe and in terms of sales.
Thus, the first 2 points reveal the dramatic story of how an innovative project was brought to life. The challenges associated with using unusual materials and non-standard designs dramatically increased production time and costs. Problems with quality and performance began to affect Tesla's reputation, causing even the most loyal fans to doubt the success of the project. And this was only the beginning of a chain of events that threatened the future of the Cybertruck and the entire electric pickup segment of the market.
Over the last couple of months. But the other thing that this could potentially be is an attempt at readjustment or correction by the Trump administration, in that one of Trump's closest kind of allies and supporters, and someone who's clearly very influential in the administration, is coming out to kind of push back against the recently implemented policies. So I'm thinking, or maybe hopeful is the right word, that this might be a signal that the administration is considering walking back some of those policies.
When the first Tesla Cybertrucks began to appear on the streets, enthusiastic anticipation quickly turned to disappointment. Owners who had waited years to get their hands on a futuristic pickup truck with a unique design and promised indestructible durability were faced with a host of unexpected problems. Social media and forums were soon flooded with complaints about numerous flaws that no one had even thought of before. Owners reported poorly fitted body panels that let water into the cabin during rain, and doors that didn't close properly, causing squeaks and gaps. Many noticed that the windshield wipers, which were supposed to work in all weather conditions, could not cope with even a normal downpour, leaving streaks and impairing visibility. These flaws did not just spoil the impression of the car, they called into question the safety and comfort of users.
KTLA Samantha Cortese joins us live with more on the wave of vandalism in protest of Elon Musk and his role in Washington. Sam?
Hi, Sharon, Micah. The ATF and FBI are collaborating with federal, state, and local law enforcement to investigate acts of domestic terrorism surrounding Teslas.
At the same time, competitors were closely monitoring the situation and preparing to seize the moment. Ford, Rivian, Chevrolet, and other automakers quickly unveiled their electric pickup trucks, positioning them as reliable and practical alternatives to the Cybertruck. Ford, for example, bet on the recognizable design of its Lightning, which combined tradition and innovation, appealing to both fans of classic trucks and those who wanted to switch to electric without taking unnecessary risks. Rivian's R1T emphasized reliability and an active lifestyle, winning fans among off-road and adventure enthusiasts. Chevrolet actively promoted the Silverado EV, highlighting the balance between modern technology and proven design.
Tesla shares have slumped by more than 9% amid a fall in sales in Europe. The electric vehicle maker posted lower sales across 5 European countries, including France and the UK. Joining us now to discuss this is CBS News foreign correspondent Remy Inocencio. Remy, why do we believe these sales are dropping? What's driving that?
Sure. Well, Errol, basically what Elon Musk has been talking about over the past, say, few months, ever since Donald Trump's election back to the White House, that has been fueling this anger, this frustration. Some even say disgust towards Musk, and they're taking it out on Tesla. Tesla now feeling the pain. But because of what's happening here in Europe, Tesla sales fell by nearly half across the continent just last month, 45%.
These competitors weren't just offering an alternative, they were posing a serious threat to Tesla's market position. A sharp drop in orders for the Cybertruck and growing interest in new models from competitors showed that customer loyalty to Tesla was starting to waver. Auto experts noted that Tesla, despite its innovation, was losing out on reliability and practicality. Consumers were increasingly choosing proven brands that not only promised a bright future, but also provided consistent quality and service. In response, Tesla began working to salvage the situation. The company realized that it was impossible to simply ignore the problems and hope they would go away on their own. Elon Musk publicly acknowledged the mistakes, promising quick fixes and updates. Tesla launched a large-scale re-engineering process for the Cybertruck, aimed at eliminating major technical and design flaws while trying to preserve its recognizable appearance and original concept.
Canada, the largest supplier of steel to the U.S., slapping new tariffs on $20 billion worth of U.S. goods that are sold in Canada. And the 27 countries of the European Union imposing retaliatory tariffs on up to $28 billion worth of U.S. goods sold in Europe, including Harley-Davidson motorcycles and Kentucky bourbon. President Trump with the Irish Prime Minister visiting the White House today. The president suggesting his tariffs won't stop here, saying, "Of course, I'm going to respond." And tonight, right here, the new poll showing 56% of Americans disapprove of President Trump's handling of the economy. The number's even worse now on the president's tariffs.
The redesign included improvements to the body structure, better windshield wipers, the addition of physical controls for driver convenience, and software optimization. Engineers worked to reduce defects and improve build quality by introducing new technologies and manufacturing processes. At the same time, Tesla actively communicated with owners, organized special events, and offered compensation to regain customer trust. However, despite all efforts, the situation remained difficult. On the one hand, many appreciated Tesla's desire to correct mistakes and maintain its innovative spirit, but on the other hand, part of the audience remained skeptical. Competition in the electric pickup market was becoming increasingly fierce, and the future success of the Cybertruck depended on how quickly and effectively the company could implement its improvement plans.
Hey Diane, this investigation really just beginning, and one of the key elements will of course be the surveillance video, and investigators potentially have a lot of it to work with as they try to figure out what caused this fire. We know that surveillance footage has been turned over, including video from each of the cars, which could prove vital to understanding what happened here, because each vehicle has its own camera system that works even when the car is off, and 16 cars burned in this fire, and right now investigators don't know what caused it.
The response to the crisis was a large-scale re-engineering of the Cybertruck, aimed at eliminating all the major technical and design flaws that had caused the decline in reputation. First, Tesla redesigned its production lines, introducing new technologies and materials capable of ensuring quality and speed of assembly. Particular attention was paid to improving the body design. Engineers worked to reduce gaps, improve airtightness, and reduce weight without compromising strength. The windshield wiper was also significantly redesigned. It now consisted of a system of 2 advanced wipers that ensured effective cleaning and safety in all weather conditions.
But they are not ruling out the possibility that this was arson. At the same time, as you just mentioned, there are groups that have been organizing ongoing and peaceful protests at Tesla dealerships around the world These demonstrations targeting Elon Musk and his affiliation with the Trump administration. Also, Italy's prime minister is said to be close friends with Musk, and there were reports that Teslas have been vandalized in her hometown in Italy. Diane.
The interior of the car also underwent major changes. Responding to criticism of the touchscreen controls, Tesla added physical buttons and controls for key functions such as climate control, mirror adjustment, and lighting. This helped make the controls more intuitive and convenient, especially while driving. The software has been updated to improve the stability of the autopilot and camera systems, which has significantly improved driving quality and safety. All these measures have not only corrected previously identified shortcomings, but also significantly improved the overall perception of the car among users. Elon Musk played a special role in the recovery process, personally taking responsibility for communications with the public. He regularly appeared on live broadcasts and social media, providing detailed updates on the work being done and new improvements, and inviting Cybertruck owners to special test drives and events. The company introduced loyalty programs, offering free maintenance, extended warranties, and discounts on upgrades for those who keep their orders. This approach helped to partially restore customer confidence and mitigate the negativity that had built up during the crisis. However, Tesla understood that technical fixes were not enough to fully restore its reputation and market position. The company launched a large-scale PR campaign in which it openly discussed the challenges it faced and demonstrated its commitment to innovation and quality. This strategy was based on honesty and a willingness to admit mistakes, which resonated positively with part of the audience, especially those who value progress and technological risk. Video footage showing the Cybertruck's refinement process, interviews with engineers, and reviews from the first satisfied owners were actively shared in the media and on social networks. Nevertheless, public opinion remained divided. Some admired Tesla's persistence and desire to correct its mistakes, while others questioned the viability of the original concept. Heated discussions continued within Tesla itself, whether to keep the original design and philosophy of the Cybertruck or radically rethink the strategy, possibly releasing a more traditional and practical pickup model. Some team members insisted on keeping the bold and recognizable image that originally attracted attention and made the Cybertruck iconic, while others argued that the company's success depended on meeting real market needs and improving usability. Ultimately, after several months of discussion, Tesla announced a compromise solution to retain the futuristic exterior while implementing all the necessary improvements to enhance reliability, comfort, and safety. The company focused on practical improvements, such as improving welding and steel processing technology, redesigning the control interface, optimizing the windshield cleaning system, and strengthening safety features. Elon Musk emphasized that the Cybertruck remains a symbol of innovation and bold decisions, but now it will also be a truly practical vehicle for everyday use. This stage was a turning point in the history of Cybertruck. Tesla did not abandon its ambitious project, but recognized the need to meet market and customer demands. The company invested significant resources in improving quality, modernizing production, and developing service support. At the same time, it continued to monitor its competitors and improve its technology in order to regain its leadership in the rapidly growing electric pickup truck market. Thus, points 5 and 6 show how Tesla faced a real threat of losing its leadership and how the company responded to the challenge from its competitors by conducting a large-scale rebranding and technical modernization of the Cybertruck. These events demonstrate the importance of balancing innovation and practicality, as well as the need for constant adaptation in the face of fierce competition and high consumer expectations. The Cybertruck story continues to unfold, with new challenges and perhaps new victories ahead.